Hey everyone, Jennifer here, and you're listening to me and Sully talk about Black Ops toys and other small business topics in this episode of the Black Ops Toy Story show. This episode is available on YouTube and YouTube Podcast. All right, here we go.
Hi everyone.
That was loud.
Sorry. Hi everyone. Sully.
Jennifer.
Here from Black Ops Toys, coming at you today with an interesting topic.
We think it's interesting.
Not really, but sort of. And the topic is social media.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about some crazy things on social media before and eBay, but we haven't really talked about all the
grind.
Yeah. And the steps that we go through and all the different things that we do. Yeah. And we also have our daughter Jensen, who does a lot on social media for us as well. So because really between the three of us doing it, it's a couple of
full-time jobs.
Full-time jobs.
All right. So we do a lot of things on social media. Okay. We have a business, and then we have the social media for the business, right? And the business is what pays the bills and pays for us to be able to do the social media portion. When we do social media, I think the understanding is you have a channel and you make money, and that's all you do.
Yeah, like a YouTube channel, right, or a TikTok, famous or something like that. It's so not that.
It's not that. We build our audience, and we have a lot of different channels. So let's talk about channels. Let's talk about YouTube, Instagram subscriptions, Facebook, TikTok, X, Patreon, and then we kind of rumbled, but not really.
Yeah, we did rumble briefly, but that did not work.
That's a lot of bases to cover.
Yeah, different types of media do well in different things, and that's because like Facebook and Instagram, at least Instagram was square, and now you have Reels, and then you have TikTok, which anything we post on there that has anything to do with toy, action figure, anything at all that is a weapon, they
flag it.
Right. So, I mean, you've been on TikTok less than a year and you have 2 content strikes, 1 more, and we won't be on TikTok anymore.
Yeah, 2 strikes already.
Even one of them, he had his hand in the picture. Like, in the video was his hand holding an action figure, and they struck that, and we appealed, and then they said, no, that stands. And so, 1 more strike, and you won't be on there anymore.
Basically, navigating the social media stuff is hard. And building a following. There's a difference between a following and a client base.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, because you have tons of followers on Facebook.
Yeah, like 275,000.
Very few of them.
Of which we have very little reach, and we've been throttled a couple different times, like for years. And very few of those followers are actual customers. Right.
I would say the same thing with YouTube. You have a lot of followers on YouTube, but very few of them are customers.
Yeah.
And we know who the customers are because they almost always comment on the videos that you post, we post.
That's
so, and there's like so many we have so many ideas. Right now, Sully is doing this thing on Reels, which the Reels go out on Instagram, where you're holding an action figure and you do the thing with it.
Right.
And those have done incredibly well because so much of what we were doing before then was not working.
Correct. We were getting throttled. So by having my hand in the video, they're allowed to basically, it's a miniature, right? So we've been posting for years pictures of the action figures, and because they look so real with the firearms and looking all tactical, that's frowned upon all over the place on social media everywhere except for X, which is pretty much where we can post anything we want to, but
there's very few customers on X, so you have a small
for 1/6
reach.
scale stuff right now.
So the other thing I was going to say too is years ago when we started this, we started with pretty much just Facebook. And we were good.
That's all there was though.
Right, then. I know. And then there was Instagram, and we did Instagram. And the thing is years ago, if something was flagged for content, you could appeal, and it went to a real
live person.
Now it is all AI. It's all AI. And so if AI sees something, and even if you appeal it, it's AI that determines.
That looks at the appeal.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many steps it has to go through before somebody gets eyes on it. And if somebody gets eyes on it and they're not liking the content for any particular reason, they could just turn me off.
Yeah, you drop into a black hole, which we've talked about.
We've talked about, and it's happened to us many, many, many times.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and with TikTok, I think there is no real person. There's no way to reach real person, because when you appeal and it is instantly like a strike,
gone.
Boom, that's AI. That's AI for sure. And it also comes into play when we try to advertise things.
Yeah.
So I will build ad campaigns that I run through Facebook and Meta. So tragic. Meta's tragic. Okay, I'll talk about that another day. And we try to build those ads, and we go through this whole process, and then oftentimes, like whether it's just images or video or whatever, it will take forever to be approved. And then if it is approved, it will then be like declined or what do we call? What did we just call that? Struck. Yeah, sorry, brain fog. So then they'll take it down. They'll approve an ad, which they did a couple Christmases ago. They approved a bunch of pictures for ads and then said, oh no, wait a minute, we've changed our mind. And by the time I went through the appeal process, the entire holiday sale was over with, so we didn't actually ever get to advertise anything.
Yeah.
So now we try to have hands, fingers, thumbs, something in
the thumb of wonder.
In every picture. And then on ads, when I go through and do those images, I oftentimes will pick pictures that don't have any full weapons. Like if it has maybe the handle or the back part of a rifle, see, I'm showing how much I know about that kind of stuff, or the top
something the AI can't recognize as a firearm.
Yeah, if it doesn't see the whole thing. If it just sees like the top of a pistol in a chest holster or something like that. No grenades, no knives, no anything like that. So I've actually also tried to go in and just like blur out things, and the AI didn't like that.
Let's just say anything manly is frowned upon.
Manly.
Anything manly is frowned upon.
It's been a real rough experience, and we come up with ad ideas. You boost reels. So when he films the reels, the ones that do really well, he will go and boost, and that has really helped. I think it gets people to the store. We're
able to do that now. We weren't able to do that for the past 5 years. Just in the last 6 months, they've released our account.
Yeah.
We don't know how.
We don't know what happened.
But we have traction again, and we're able
to
do these things.
Taking it while we can. And you boost those, but we haven't run a lot of ads through Meta, and we still haven't tried to advertise anything on TikTok.
It's a lot of work. So moral of the story here is that there's a lot of work to do content for so many different platforms, and it doesn't equate to financially generating dollar amounts until you get into the millions of followers or whatnot.
Well, and I was just thinking too, like the other thing is we use a program to read or look through the videos, and this is a whole other content thing we've just started exploring, because we've been doing the Artist of the Month. If you don't know, we interview an artist somewhere on the spectrum of customizations in the 1/6 the world, and we put that out on YouTube and YouTube podcast. And we also do these Talking Heads videos, and we have taken a program that goes through those videos and picks out reel, so portrait format, social clips, and captions them, and we've been posting those too, and trying to get some more viewership for those Artists of the Month videos that way. And that's a whole other new thing that works.
It's stuff we love doing. It's
and certain things like we think are going to do
well,
so good. Tank. And then other things that we just throw together in 2 seconds do amazing.
Do really well.
But
it's hard to know where to put your time as a small business owner, because you spend so much time. We spend probably half of what we do doing social media-esque stuff, and that's not what pays the bills for us now.
No, it's definitely the store and sales through the store and eBay that take care of all of that. But we do the content. I think you do the content because you love it.
I love it, and I want people to see the industry and see what we do and kind of go, wow, that's super cool. How do I get into that? Or, go to the website, look at stuff, make a purchase, try it out. But I really want to build the industry, and I think that leveraging what we have as an audience now, I think is helping. Yeah. But I just want to tell people about it and tell them it's cool. And the more people that know about what we do, the more stuff we can make and the better the industry gets.
Yeah.
So, lots of good stuff.
And I do it because I like the challenge of it.
Yeah.
I do it because I like the creative part of it. I like taking the creative and seeing how it works. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's why Jensen does it too. She loves that process of putting things online and seeing what hits and what doesn't. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you had a customer a couple days ago buy a 1/12 scale, was it a Star Wars or G.I. Joe figure that was in our clearance section.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars.
Yeah. And then, because you noticed these things, the customer came back and ordered a whole bunch of parts, 1/6 scale parts, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of stuff you love to see, is that someone comes to the website or maybe saw, something like our clearance ad on Facebook or wherever, and then comes to the website, orders something, and then comes back. And you like to see what they order.
I like and anytime I see an order, especially a large order with tons of line items, I look at it and go, what's this guy building?
Yeah.
And typically I can see it in my head, and it's super cool, and I want to see the end result. Like after the customer gets it, send us a picture. Let's see what you're working on. But I love it. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's nice to see the social media kind of work in that way.
And where people can talk to us and reach us and ask questions,
Yeah. Well, that's why you do Patreon. Yeah. For sure.
We're accessible. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
No.
You know what I've noticed? Look at how
I know we got
white I am.
I know we got really we had a summertime tan from being in Utah, and I've noticed that too. Like,
does that light make me look like super?
I think we have lights back there to try to help with the shadows in the window and all that stuff. But yeah, it. I did notice that the other day. I was looking at myself, going, my tan is almost.
You look Irish.
I know, I do. Well, that's a good thing, I guess. Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram subscriptions, TikTok, Patreon,
X.
YouTube. X.
And newsletter.
And our email newsletter, which you can sign up for that on the website.
BlackOpsToySTOry.com.
And that one too, BlackOpsToySTOry.com. I was talking about the store, the store newsletter, but we also have BlackOpsToySTOry.com, that newsletter, which we haven't done a lot with lately. We should probably resurrect that.
Yep.
All right, so follow. Share,
subscribe,
ask questions, post comments. We love it.
Let us know what you want to see, whatever. Yeah. Just content. We want to give you content, and we want some good ideas. And yeah, there you go.
Content from the perspective of small business owners who are married, who run this whole thing together.
Who run a toy company.
And then come home and cook dinner together and,
Whatever. All right.
Cool. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please share the show. Share it on your social media and share it with your friends. We don't really care how you share it, just share the show. Until next time.